Tell them run it up. I wake up. Yeah.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now, check, no drip this, wet. Tell them run it up, no sleep, no rest, might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch, tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first.
Ha! I got back just in time, Okay.
I'm telling you.
Jamal, you the host.
You playing that. You playing that.
We said hello to everybody. Greetings. Glad to have you all here on another one of Ebony Sports Reporter. We got our brother in the house, Bernard America Brown in the house.
Yes,
brother
sir.
Julius Hall. We got our engineer, Dr. Robert Bryant, and a special guest, because this is part of our, what we call our Coach's Corner. And sometimes we infuse it, in the latter part, but we got to do this in the beginning because we got somebody, I'm going to let y'all know. This brother right here has been doing the work. He's been doing the work not just a year, but for years he's been doing the work. He's been out there making it happen for our young people. I got mad pride for this brother, mad love for this brother, and happy to have him on the show. Y'all know him, Coach Armand Crawford. He is also known as Coach C, and we want you, Coach C, because like I said, usually we do it later on, but because you're joining us, we want you to go ahead and let the people know who you are, what you're doing, and how you're impacting our city and our county right now. Again, I've got to say, brother, we're honored to have you on here. Y'all know he and I joke and go at one another, but guess what? That's family love. That's family love because, again, I got mad respect. I wouldn't joke with him if I didn't have love for him. Coach C.
Hey, well, I greatly appreciate that introduction, man. First of all, you know what I got to say, man. I'm a bulldog, baby.
Oh Lord, you already done started off wrong.
hey, I had to do it. I had to do it. Class of 1994. I'm a bulldog, true blue, down to the ground, man. I can't say anything else.
Okay, we ain't gonna hold it against you.
Well, I greatly appreciate that. I'm Amon, Coach C. Everybody, I've been going by that name for about the last 15 years. I think more people know me by Coach C than my actual name now. I've been involved with youth sports and a big advocate for the kids here in the city for about 15 years now. I had my own program since 1994. That's the year I graduated from high school. I'm sorry, since 2014. I actually started out coaching with the Liberty City Vikings. I've been doing a lot here for the city. Matter of fact, Mr. Teray know that we met with the city of Savannah about 2 months ago, and we presented a proposal to the city that they actually granted, which was a big help, financial help that we need here in the city. It's a lot of kids, and a lot of times they don't have the funding, they don't have the resources to participate because, like we know, everything takes money. No matter what you do, you have to have money. So that with that proposal being granted, it takes some of the pressure off of us, which allow more children to join our programs because they won't have that overhead of paying team fees where we can substitute some of the income that we already have to take over that. Personally, my organization, I'm out in Southwest Georgetown Youth Organization. Like I said, I've been around since 2014. We're actually in the middle of basketball. Both of my teams actually made it to the playoffs. We play Saturday. I'll start track Sunday coming up. Of course, we did football. I do a big brother, big sister program. I do mentoring, tutoring. I also, I'm big in the homeschool community. My son's been homeschooled since the 3rd grade, and he's a senior this year. So I'm real big in the homeschool community. Actually, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I actually do a PE, a physical fitness class out at Memorial Stadium for homeschool students. I'm actually implementing an 8-man varsity football team this year and varsity cheerleading, which is the high school level for kids who are actually homeschooled or if you're in a private school or either if you're at a school that don't offer that sport, you're more than welcome to come out and join us. So it's a few irons I have in the fire. I'm just trying to keep myself busy and keep these children out of trouble. Because one thing about trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. And with regards to the program, that again, with regards to that funding, can you share with people about that? Because something that you also share at one of our programs, you discuss how you say we want people to go ahead and contact us. So,
Well,
can you share with the
we
audience?
want you to contact us because the money is there. It's actually there. They divided up by sports, and it's basically on a first come first serve basis. How they allot it. I think I just focus on football. I think it's for the first 40 teams. There are going to be a lot of helmets, shoulder pads. There are going to be a lot of vouchers for uniforms, footballs, equipment. Everything is already done. The legwork has already been done. All you have to do is actually you can contact us because I'm also the president of the Savannah Coalition of Youth Leaders as well. Like I stated earlier, we were the ones that got together, that went down there with this proposal, and we met with Jay Milner, the city manager, with the backing of Alicia Blakely, Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter, and Alderwoman Bernadette Lanier. They are very instrumental in giving us and paving this way for us to get all of this done. So I actually want to thank those ladies as well, why I have this platform and have the opportunity to do that, because without them, it was just a vision, but sometimes someone else have to see your vision and someone else is going to help you get to that vision. We all need to work together because we're all in it together. We're all in it for one goal, and that's to rise and keep our people afloat.
That's awesome. You're doing an awesome job. I don't know if I could do all those things. I thought I was doing a lot and trying to keep up with Jamal.
Yeah, hey, I can't keep up with that man at all. I don't know how.
No,
he got like 3 or 4 hours of extra a day that we know nothing about.
Yeah. I don't know where he get it from. 28 hours in his days.
I don't know, man. He must got a multiplicity machine or something that's going on that we know nothing about.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you, brother. We want you to stay with us on here on Ebony Sports Reporters. Now, I got to throw something out there to the audience to let the audience know something. Guess what? Last week with Coach Bernard Brown, with Brother Julius Hall on last week, one of our topics on last week was, does AD need some more training? Does AD need more training? And guess what the deal is right now? AD has gotten injured again. AD is out. But last week, I want people to understand. Last week, Ebony Sports Reporters, we put that out there. That's to show you how we're on top of this right here. We're on top of things. And so, again, since this again, something's occurred, what's your thoughts with regards to that? Coach Bernard Brown.
You muted.
Now he's muted. He's unmuted now.
You're going to have to go out and come back in because your phone rang and you was on the phone. Yeah, you got to go out and come back in.
All right. So, Julius Hall, what's your thoughts with regards to that?
Well, AD, we talked about it last week. AD soft. He's soft. These players don't, once they get all that money, they don't do what they need to do to stay conditioned like LeBron, like Michael Jordan, like Kobe. These guys were at the top of their game always because they always had conditioning. Always. I mean, year round. Because they knew that that's how they made their money. AD, I don't know what to say about AD. AD he just soft. You got to go hard and act like nobody in the world can stop you. He don't do that. In college he was a beast, but when he got to the pro level,
he already there now. So he, like you said, he done got soft.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. AD man, he's not a dog. He just don't want to put it in. When you got one of the greatest players that ever played NBA basketball on your team, and he spent over $1 million every summer to stay in shape, to get his body right. LeBron spent money on his body. You know what I'm saying? Every time I turn around, AD hurt. We said it last week. Now look what happened. He hurt again. He just not. To be honest with you, I think he need to go ahead, either retire the Lakers need to go ahead and move on. That's what New Orleans did. You think they won a championship, but I caught it was a half a season championship to me. You know, AD is time for him to pack a deal and move on, because if you're not gonna put the work in on the off season, this what's gonna happen. And a lot of people in LA, they frustrated. LeBron only reason LeBron don't want to go off on him like that, because LeBron not like that. But behind closed doors, don't put it on Westbrook. AD, you supposed to be the back door that anybody come back there, you supposed to stop it. You ain't doing your job. You ain't doing your job. So he might as well shut it down this season and move on, because, you know, with him, one thing about him, when he get hurt, he hurt.
Where's Dwight Howard?
Dwight.
Yeah, Dwight on there, but Dwight still got some gas in his tank. But he's not the scorer that they need, that AD bring to the table. AD, if he stay healthy, man, he can be a great player. He was like that. Hey, he was like that in Kentucky, Jules. He was like that in Kentucky, but he had so many players around him, all-star players around him, you really couldn't see it. He always been soft. He was soft in high school, he been soft in college, and he was soft in the pros. He don't want to put the work in, but he want the glory. And all those Kentucky boys like that.
And the word is out there right now that there's some rumbling going on in LA. It's some rumbling going on Showtime that folks are thinking that they might need to trade him. As Bernard was saying, some people saying that there might need to be a deal in the works with regard to this, with regard to AD. Coach C, you want to add anything else before we move on to our next topic?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Next topic is, who is the most unguardable player in the NBA? Who's the most unguardable player in the NBA? Julius Hall, who do you think? Who you contend?
Right now, it would probably have to be Kyrie Irving. But the most unguardable player in NBA history was probably Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, and Michael Jordan. I'm going to give you three. But right now, I would say Kyrie Irving. I watched this guy. Nobody can really guard this guy. They can't guard him.
I agree with that.
You just don't want to do what you got to do to play every night.
And Coach C, who do you say is the most unguardable player in the NBA?
Hey, I agree with Mr. Hall. That's where I was going at. He took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
okay.
That's who I agree with.
All right. And America, who do you say?
Hey, I'm going with Steph Curry. I'm going with Steph. You can't guard him because you can't catch him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this dude, you see Steph lighting it up. I mean, his off night is his best night. And I say Steph is the man. And what y'all say, Kyrie and all that, but Kyrie brings so much issues that you can't really see how talented this boy is because of so much other stuff. I mean, he can handle the ball, he can do his thing, but it's all that other stuff that come along with him. The other night, Steph Curry was like weighed out, and he shot the ball, and he turned around and was looking at the stand, people in the stand, and going down court. He did like this here. Look at the stand and was going. He's a prime. He's Showtime. He's Showtime.
Yeah.
He's Showtime.
He's the Deion Sanders of basketball.
Yeah. Must see TV. Must see TV.
He's a pure shooter, and the Warriors are still number 2 right now in the West. So now we're gonna come down to something that is troubling to some people. So we want to know who's gonna lose their team first. Is it gonna be your boy Stephen Ross? Or is it going to be Dan Snyder? Who's going to lose their team? Who's going to possibly lose? Is it going to be the Miami Dolphins based on what happened with regards to the bribery? They tried to throw out at least, let me be fair, the alleged bribery tied to Brian Flores, or is it going to be tied to Daniel Snyder with regards to the workplace hostile environment? Which one do you think might lose their team first?
Neither one of them. Neither one of them. These
because the season
these
just
good old
they got plenty of time over the summer.
We gonna come to you, Coach C. We gonna come to you. We rotate. We gonna hit. Bernard got the floor. Then we gonna come to you. Go ahead, Bernard.
Hey, neither one of them. These the good old boys, man. These the owners and all the white owners. They ain't trying to hear that. Neither one of them gonna lose their team. If they was gonna lose it, they should have been lost it a while ago. It's a lot of stuff that done come out with the Washington team and with the Miami team. The only reason why it come out because they keep it together. Those good old boys keep it inside. And what happened? The only reason why late with Brian is because Brian got a raw deal, and that's why you hear about the Miami. And with Dan went ahead and changed the name because the Indians and all that. They ain't going nowhere. They gonna be. I lose my team, and I ain't got no team before I even get it. So right. that's my answer.
So, Coach C, who do you say?
I don't think it's gonna happen to either one of them because, like they said, they got the whole summer, the off season, to sweep that under the rug, and there's so many other things that's gonna come up because right now it's a hot topic because Odell Beckham just got hurt in the Super Bowl. So then you got You got Donaldson retiring, so you got all these other things that's going to come up and snatch the spotlight. Then you're gonna have the draft come up. Then you're gonna have all kind of stuff because it's happening now at the end of the season. So you got the whole off season to sweep that up under the rug, unless they come back out and make another statement in the middle of the summer. They bring it back up to the forefront. It's gonna be forgotten about. Like it was a swift move with Gruden. It was during the season. They couldn't wait on that. It was a hot topic right then and that. All the evidence was there. They had to move swift on that. They didn't have a whole summer. Yeah. They didn't have an off season to recover from that. They had to jump on it right then and there.
Yeah, you're right.
So now, Julius Hall, I got to throw this element in, which people got to take into consideration. There's a class action lawsuit that has been filed, and that's tied to Stephen Ross. It is a lawsuit, so it's not anything that's just all internal with regard to the NFL. So it's a class action lawsuit. But then the other part that's tied to Daniel Snyder, there's also now proceedings that's gone before Congress. Congress is now looking at the Washington Commanders, commandos, and all the other managers. They should have still kept the Washington football team. But anyway, it is now out of the hands of the NFL. Now it is, and what some people are fearful of, that now this is in the hands of Congress because that team is in Washington, D.C. So, Julius Hall, how do you see with regard to the class action suit and also with regard to now that Congress is involved? Because it's no longer something within house. This is not outside of the house.
First, Bernard, you've been looking on my sheet because you said exactly what I was going to say in reference to that. I say, Bernard saying what I'm saying already. I must be looking at my sheet. But they don't do anything to rich white boys. So they don't have anything to worry about. So even with Congress getting in, Congress will not sanction these people to the point of them losing their teams. Now, if anybody should be penalized, it should be Miami. The hostile work environment in Washington, those people can go and get another job. And if they've been taping it, the federal law say 90 days. That's what you got to have 90 days worth of continuous hostile work environment. So whatever Congress is doing is just window dressing. That's all it is. But in Miami, if he was being paid to lose games, then he should lose his team. He should lose his team. That's not. You upset everybody in the whole apricot all the way to Las Vegas with sports gambling and everything. So it's a lot of people. You got the mafia and everybody else all involved. I guess everybody said the mafia don't exist no more, but it's an underground mafia and this big money. So, Miami.
Yeah. Well, what some of them are looking at, the precedent has already been set with regards to when you see what happened with Donald Sterling with regards to him losing ownership of the Clippers. So that's what now they're hovering around. And what some people looking at, that they actually getting people in place now to actually, if it comes down to it, if that class action suit is bringing any disfavor with regard to the NFL, they're going to have some folks to step up and acquire the Dolphins. And then the same thing with regard to Daniel Snyder. That's why even his own family members, some of them have begun to distance themselves with regard to that, because there's a fear that, again, when you talk about this network of them, they don't want this favor coming on them right now. So it's interesting that, again, because again, it's no longer something that, as a phrase that some of us use, that light has not been exposed on that darkness, and so the rats and the roaches are not trying to run. So that's a segue to this right here, that with regards to gambling in sports, from recreation on up to professional sports, what's your thoughts with regards to that? Coach C, what's your thoughts with regards to gambling that's taking place regarding recreational sports and going even up to professional sports?
It shouldn't be allowed at all. It shouldn't be. I mean, especially at the recreational level, it's supposed to be for the pure enjoyment of it, but you're taking away from it once you implement money. That's the whole thing that the biggest issue from going to college to the pros, when they said that in a college they play for the pure love of the game, versus when they get to college is more, once they get to the pros, it's more about the money. So I think that's something that should be removed. It shouldn't be anything that should be involved in sports, period, at all. But we know it's legal in Las Vegas. They have the point spread and everything else with every sport, the Super Bowl and all of these big sporting events. It's there. But let's just have a sense of decorum about the whole situation. Like I said, especially at the rec league, that's something that shouldn't be involved in.
Yeah. And Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts with regards to gambling in sports, going from recreational on up to professional sports?
Gambling was in sports, period, from little league to, if we sitting on the sideline and we almost Forsyth Park and we playing boys club, and then you got the guys back there, they making a bet and say who gonna win, and it always been that way. Everybody, gambling, if you try to stop it, just like they try to stop the NCAA try to stop these boys for getting paid and this and that. There's really nothing you can do about it. Matter of fact, they didn't open like you can gambling in New York City now on sports or whatever. So it's wrong, but at the end of the day, it's right for them because everybody getting paid, and that's just the way it is. Everybody getting paid. Everybody sweep it under the rug. But I want to piggyback on something you just said, Jamar. When you say the LA Clippers, the reason why they took his team is because they had him on tape. They had him saying he criminated himself by what he said. His girlfriend brought the tape ahead, and that's why he lost his team. For is the Miami, if they got pure evidence that is on tape that he did bribe this Brian, then that's a different story. But now you're saying he say, I say.
But in a legal process, now I'm saying we all got to be clear about. In a legal process, you file your lawsuit. Then what happened is a period called discovery. During discovery, that's when now you begin getting the information and also depositions. So that's what I'm like saying, hey, yeah, they're going to be getting information. And also now I'm going to throw it out there with regards to why did John Gruden, why did he basically give up the ghost? Is because of the emails that was also tied with regard to that same investigation that's now going on with the Washington football team and Dan Snyder. Yeah. So the information is out there. So that's why I'm telling people you might need to hold tight on that, because some other things going to come out, and that's why everybody's now. That's why other owners in the NFL and management team, they're all on pins and needles also, because they know the stuff that they sent in emails also. That only thing, and that's why Gruden is mad with some of them. Gruden is saying, y'all put my business out there, but some of y'all were doing the same thing. And I got caught in the crossfire.
Somebody got the fall guy.
And so that's why, so now, folks, it's going to get interesting. I'm just saying, that's why the weeks, it's not going to be something that people are going to forget, because you got the class action suit. And when that discovery start coming out, and I'm going to see how some people are going to react to that when people now begin to get a true image of them. And that's why with regard to what's going on with Congress, that inquiry with them is going to be interesting also to see, because there's thousands of emails. And that's why Gruden, again, he's pissed off that again, his got circulated, but he like saying there's some other people out there too. But then Julius Hall, what's your thoughts with regards to gambling? From recreation going on up to professional sports.
First of all, I think that we all need to save our money because it's an 8-hour drive to Miami. It's a 12-hour drive to DC. So we might as well go to Miami because that's the party city. It's always hot. We ain't got to worry about being in no big jackets. So we save our money and we go by the Miami Dolphins. But second thing is, and Byron Allen trying to buy the Denver Broncos. So we'll see what happened there. But the second thing is, gambling, sports gambling, you never get rid of it. So there's no need in us even bucking it. They're going to gamble on sports in college all the way up to the professional level. I don't agree with it for little league and recreational because then you bring in an element of criminality. You got coaches, you got referees throwing games. You got the boys with a lot of money paying the referees to throw games. We used to want to fight coaches back in the day. Fight referees back in the day because we know it was a bad call, So, and that's little league. So just imagine how bad it'd be. You have parents going to the car and shooting people and stuff, So no, on this league, on that level,
hey, we don't need
no.
those incidents.
Yeah, on that level, no.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, what has happened, what has occurred, you've had situations where folks have had gunfights at recreational games because, again, it's been based on them gambling and people been on the side. Some people were surprised at that. They weren't aware that folks are actually betting on little kids. And then down in Florida, where you got people actually being killed based on that, not recently, but folks being killed with regards to because they had bets and people then got upset about what went on. And then they got mad with the coaches also and went after coaches because they thought the coaches caused them to lose their money. Yeah. I want to say that is the type of behavior that we see from Wolverines, but I'm not saying that right now. I'm just saying. So,
Lord have mercy.
Lord, I know you had to throw that in there, boy, I swear.
So we're gonna roll on. We're gonna roll on because again, we're gonna talk about a dynasty. We're gonna talk about a team that's a dynasty, but some people don't look at them being a dynasty because of certain things that they were not able to achieve. And the dynasty is the Buffalo Bills. Look at the Buffalo Bills, the Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, again, Bruce, them all of them. How do you look at the legacy of the Buffalo Bills, Julius Hall?
The Buffalo
Bills.
The Buffalo Bills legacy will only be remembered by the Buffalo Bills fans. That's just like the only ones going to remember that Atlanta lost after a 28-3 lead to the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl is Atlanta fans and New England fans. New England happy and Atlanta fans sad. So the Buffalo Bills, ain't nobody care about them. Where they do that at? Ain't nobody care about them. I'm more concerned with what the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers gonna do.
Yeah.
And we got Coach joining us from the Atlanta Falcons. Glad to have you with us, Coach. Glad to have you with us joining in. So now, Coach C, how do you view the legacy of the Buffalo Bills?
They did achieve something that nobody did. They went 4 years in a row, which means they were the best in the division. They just couldn't close the deal. That's just like these Atlanta teams, these Georgia teams. We get there every year. We can't close the deal. You have a tremendous legacy, but the thing about it, the legacy that's going to be remembered is they lost them all. They don't care about what happened those 4 seasons that when they went through to get to that point. You're still going to be remembered like this. Always say you're just as good as your last game. Yeah, that's just like when the Patriots went when Randy Moss when he went 17-0 and lost the Super Bowl. There go your perfect season. It doesn't matter what you did prior to that. You lost that last game, and that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah,
correct.
And Coach Bernard Brown, what's your thoughts with regard to the legacy of the Buffalo Bills?
One thing I'm saying this. I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm like this here. You ain't won the Super Bowl. You can go to Super Bowl 10 times and lose 10 times, and they ain't won it. They ain't gonna remember. They remember who won the Super Bowl. They ain't gonna remember who been there. So at the end of the day, only thing I remember about the Buffalo Bills is when O.J. Simpson was playing for them, and that's about it. To be honest.
and
The juice.
The juice. That's it. And he won a Super Bowl then.
Yeah, and with regard to that, now with some you're gonna look at, they're gonna talk about just like what they did with Kansas City. They call Kansas City Dynasty of One. They just win one time. And just like how Coach C went and said, they've done something that no one else has done, going to the Super Bowl 4 times, though they did not win. And people look at legacy with regards to Dallas. They look at San Francisco. They look at those legacies and they call them dynasties. But then should they like at least because they have done something that no one else has done? How should we not look at them in a more favorable light? Because a lot of people tend to like dismiss them, but just as you all were saying, they dismissed it, but then did they not achieve something?
Hey, I'll give you a prime example. Michael Jordan went to the NBA championship 3 times and won it 3 times. People gonna remember that. All right. The Lakers could have been the first team to go back to back, but they lost against Detroit. So they couldn't go back to back. You know what I'm saying? So people remember when you bring the rings, when you bring the trophies, and that's what they remember about, period. I guarantee you ask anybody about Buffalo, you know, the first thing gonna say, well, it's cold up there, you know.
On the hot wings.
Yeah. On the hot wings, Buffalo wings.
And Coach Eddie Chase, he went and said the younger generation don't know about the Bills, and that's a part of because what y'all sharing that some people go and dismiss that, and so they look at it and say, hey, should we just go and be dismissive of them? Because again, they did something, but we're gonna look at these others, and so again, because we are a society that we look at winners and solely winners, and that's it. That's why Bernard Brown was able to win 2 state championships, because if he did not win the 2 state championships, he would be like, wait, somebody else might go and say, oh, yeah, he was a good coach, but he ain't got that ring.
Yeah. So, and I'm telling you, it's very important. I've been coaching for 20-something years, man, and I have like, you know, I ain't won it. But when I won it, back to back, man, that's a weight off your body. That's a weight because now you feel like, hey, I have did something. I won, you know, and it's just what in you. That's the competing in you, competing with yourself. I got to get it. That's just how athletes is. So them going to the Super Bowl 4 times, and then win it. It's no like when Charles Barkley was Shaq be messing with Charles. Charles, you was a great player, but you ain't won the ring. Charles said, oh, well, I don't care. I don't need no ring. Well, Shaq said, I got 4. It's about the ring.
And so, all right. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on something. So now I'm going to let y'all know that is to the audience out there. With our show, Ebony Sports Reporters, we talk about and do things and bring up things that others do not. I don't care if you look at some national shows, you better understand that this show right here, we are the ones that give out we give out the information that is real, and we don't shape it based on what our sponsors are telling us, because it's something that has occurred and that I heard it like for a flicker and no one else has said anything about it. This is about Sha'Carri Campbell with regards to her and her smoking marijuana. But then you got Camilla, you know, she has been doping based on her coaches. But then here go the International Olympic Committee said that she can still compete in the figure skating. But here go the sister. She goes and says, hey, I had an issue with regard to my mother passing away. And that information was given to me by a stranger, by a reporter. It wasn't a family member that they tell me all of a sudden. They say, hey, how do you feel about your biological mother passing away? She's more like, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, your biological mother passed away. How do you feel about that? She is stunned. So now she goes to take a toke of some marijuana, and so bam, her whole world falls apart with regard to people saying she shouldn't be able to compete and that we agree with them. But now here go a program, the Russian program. It was caught for doping 2 years ago. It was supposed to have been suspended 2 years ago, but then they said, oh, no, we'll let you all not come back in as the Russian Olympic Committee. So now what I have seen, everyone else, they went and excused it because it's a 15-year-old girl and her coaches were involved in this right here. But guess what? Sha'Carri said what I think a lot of us should be saying publicly, that look at who's involved. African-American, Caucasian. So, Julius Hall, what's your thoughts on that right there?
Well, the sad part of it is that everybody is coming to Camilla's defense. She went crying because she came in 4th place. They're giving her all this sympathy. But here's this girl who lost her mom, and you refuse to negotiate anything for her. We all know that racism is worldwide, especially to a black man, and people wonder why we complain so much. This is why we complain. Because you do it to us, and you do it so blatantly in the open, so people can see it, and we don't do anything about it. We don't stand up together. Where was the black organizations to protest this, to stand up behind Sha'Carri Richardson? Where were they? They were not there. And where was the us boycotting the Olympic sponsors to show our support for her? We are not united, so the people will continue to step on our neck until we get to that point. We should have stood up for her in record numbers, but like I said, we got to do something. We got to do something different.
Yeah. And I got misinfluenced by something because my mind went to Dr. Tanya Howard Hall. I'm thinking about my daughter down at FAMU, Shari Campbell, who down there. This was as opposed to St. Richardson. So again, that's why when I see Julius Hall, I got to think about his better half, Dr. Tanya Hall, and she down with FAMU. So that's why I started thinking about them snakes. But then, Coach C, what's your thoughts with regards to that, Coach C?
It's sad that everything that we go through have to be a racial issue, but it's that obvious, unfortunately. But sometimes we as people we was crucifying her ourselves though. Some of us a lot of us did, like you said, we did not go to our aid. A lot of us did crucify. Instead of standing together and banding behind her, we crucified the girl. We was all on her coattails when she was winning this, she was doing this, she was doing that, yah. But there's one little small thing we crucify for us. Like they always say, we take the good with the bad, implying that it's more bad than good. You can do 1,000 things right, but once you do that one thing wrong, they hold it against you. Yeah. We do that to ourselves. But unfortunately, everybody else band together. Them Russians, they band together. They did what they had to do. They came up with a sob story. They let her go out there and cry. Boom, boom, boom. And she's still competing. Yeah. They didn't give her no ifs, ands, and buts about it as soon as it came out. They wouldn't even let her be an alternate. They wouldn't even let her be an alternate. They wouldn't even let her go, even though she couldn't perform. They wouldn't even let her go for the experience of it all. They cut it all. They just cut it all. Just let it all go. But that's how they do it in every aspect across the board. That's how they do it. It's just like they was talking about how even though he's white, Eminem, Neil doing the halftime show. You had a lot of people coming out talking about it was an all black halftime show. How many halftime shows you can go back over 56 years that has been all white? They don't have an issue with that. But it's so blatant that it's just so much racism now in sports. It doesn't matter when you look at it, but it definitely in sports. But the sad thing about it is African Americans who run 85-90% of every sport, except for a few of them. And any sport that we involve ourselves in, we dominate that sport. Yeah. We wasn't big. Well, you had Arthur Ashe, you had a few others, but we really wasn't dominating tennis until Venus and Serena. You didn't hear nothing about golf until Tiger Woods started playing. Yeah. You had the black guy who was in the NASCAR. What is his name? Bubba Jones or Bubba whatever. We didn't care about NASCAR racing, but anything that we get involved in, we take it over. We do. Yeah.
Jamal.
But they quit that.
Jamal, go ahead, Jamal.
I ain't gonna say. Let Coach C just go on. Let Coach C just go on. Just go on, Coach C. Just go on.
I'm done, man. I'm done. You got it.
Just go on. Just go on. Just gone.
You went to one of his subjects before
which was next. He got going. Just get involved right now. But I'm gonna leave that alone. My brother Bernard Brown. My brother, go ahead and give your thoughts with regard to this.
Hey, you know what? Both of y'all said, Jules and Coach. Both of y'all said it right. But what get me is that the Russian trying to cover up and say that this young lady had drug because she had her heart medicine. You know, she had heart medicine. You know, that's why it was in her system, whatever, like that. But for them to do this young lady like what they doing her is just crazy. But I got two. Let me get 2 minutes, and I'm gonna bring something up too. So the Phoenix, Arizona quarterback, right? He's up for his rookie contract is up, and it's time for him to get paid. And all of a sudden now, you ain't heard nothing about he's not a good team player or whatever like that. So all of a sudden now it's time to pay him. So now y'all got issue because he's not a good team player. All right. Now, when Watson wanted to leave Houston and it was time for him to want to leave, all of a sudden you talking about now you bring these massage and all that. Why it always about when these black brothers trying to get paid, it always something. You ain't say that when Brady. You didn't say that with Aaron Rodgers, but when these brothers, time for these brothers to get paid and time for these white owners to play these brothers, now you saying it's an issue about something. They're railroading that boy for Phoenix, and if I was him, he's a heart, I would say, you know what, trade me. He's due for what, almost 50 something $million. Now all of a sudden, you can't work with him, or he got a hard head or whatever. Come on now, come on, man. That's just flat out wrong. Flat out wrong. Until we stand up as people and stand up for our people, they're gonna always do us like this. It always. But they say we racist because we talk about it. No, we talk about it because y'all need to listen.
That's right.
You know, and it's supposed to be Black History Month. At the end of the day, stop trying to cover the history within 1 month when we can use it January all the way to December. You know what I'm saying? If you do the history, then you'll realize why we so frustrated. And that go from society, sports, everything. So that's my feeling about it. And who don't like it, it is what it is.
All right. And we'll move on to this one. And again, it's the legacy. How do we celebrate Bubba Wallace and Lewis Hamilton? We go to Bernard Brown. How do we celebrate? How do you think we should celebrate Bubba Wallace and Lewis Hamilton?
Bubba, and I did my research on him. Bubba, good race car driver. I think he had 105 years. He raced 148 races. I don't know. Have he won one? I don't know. I didn't see him winning. I did the research and I didn't see him winning it. But for him just to do what he's doing, that's a celebration because like Coach said, anytime you have a black person going into a white person's sports, we're going to take over. That's just the way it is. And they don't like that. So it's always something. Hey, baby girl. And with Lewis, it's like he his salary for 2022 is $54 million. $54 million. He done run 7 races. And he is British or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So people don't know about it, but they know now because it's on the Ebony Sports Show.
And of course, that's what we do. Ebony Sports Show. That's what we put our information to others. Like again, this whole issue with regard to the doping, no one else is talking about that. So I don't care if you talk about ESPN, NBC Sports, Fox, any of that. We are doing it right here. So Julius Hall, Bubba Wallace, and Lewis Hamilton.
You probably don't want me to go, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Black race car drivers is like the Buffalo Bills. They went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and we still don't care. But I applaud these guys for stepping up because race car driving, and people don't think that's a sport.
Mm-hmm.
It is to drive that amount of time for that speed and to not kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be an athlete. You really have to be an athlete. So I think that You know, if you go in the mall and you ask anybody who these two gentlemen are, you probably out of 100 people, especially if you ask black people, out of 100 people, probably only one person would know, and that'll be me, knowing who they are just by knowing their name. I don't keep
Right.
up with car driving. I don't watch golf until the last hole if it's close. I watch race car driving also if it's a good tight race and it's the last 10 laps. That's it.
Okay. All
And
right.
so now, Coach C, we move on to you with regards to Bubble, since you already said.
Hey,
So, Lewis, your thoughts on Lewis Hamilton? We'll go ahead, you know.
Hey, I feel the same way that Mr. Hall said. You know, I was talking about Bubba. I couldn't even remember his last name. I couldn't remember his last name. Bubba Wallace. I was like Bubba Jones. I knew the first name was Bubba, but a lot of people fail to realize. Remember, Walter Payton. I think he got into car racing.
Racing.
He retired.
Yeah.
Michael
Jordan.
He was big into that after he retired. Michael Jordan too. But like I said, that's just not something that we're engaged in. Like you say, you ask 100 people, we would not know. We couldn't know at all. That could be a trivia question that we would not get right at all. So it's like you said, the Buffalo Bills, it doesn't make a difference one way or the other.
Yeah.
And the reason why we do know Bubba, I think the reason why we do know Bubba Wallace is because with the whole nooses and all that stuff that came out, and that brought it to the forefront, and that's when we started paying attention to that. But if we were just strictly just going around that circle, we wouldn't know who he is.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well, I wouldn't, because I don't watch it.
Well, now I will share this with you all and see, but that's the same thing with regard to baseball. How many of us playing baseball? We're not playing baseball, and Major League Baseball have gone and said they're trying to infuse that more so. But they're now going to throw it out there for the audience out there about Bubba Wallace. With regard to he has won. He has won championships. But something else about Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace has experienced the same thing with regards to social injustice. He's been pulled over. He's discussed. It's been put out there that again, that what he's had to do with regards to fighting injustice, and that what he talked about that when he was over in Talladega, when he's there, right there, and he said that, and his mother they are there, and they're like, look, and said that the people who work the grounds there at Talladega, the people who work the stands and all that, these black folks, they were like, they're all over there for him. It's basically saying that they're there supporting you, Bob, but they're there because they finally see somebody who looks like them. They have worked in these environments that are right with racism, but they have been right there. They're not going to see somebody who looks like them. And so then now when he began to understand that he now carries the banner of that. Now I gotta say this. A bunch of y'all got athletes. Now, I'm not saying any of you all, but I'm saying a bunch of y'all got athletes who don't even think like that. That's not even where it's all about being selfish. But now he understood. And when he talks about the experience that he had traveling through North Carolina in his own home county, and then he's pulled over by state troopers, and he know for a fact that if he is not compliant, they will kill him. And it comes home with him, and then his father, who's Caucasian, didn't understand it. And then his mother, who's African-American, had to go and say, listen here, you don't understand. That's the life. Now, I have to go and say this right here. When George Floyd was murdered, we talk about social injustice and all of that. Guess who was out there wearing T-shirts and got all that right there, letting everyone around the entire world know? Lewis Hamilton. So that's why I tell people, I say, yeah, see, now we're going to celebrate some people, but then the people who are out there who are putting out there on the line, and then Lewis Hamilton is a superstar around the entire world. Okay, we might not know per se his name right here, but I'm going to say, if you look at some of the gear that he wore that spoke about black people in the United States, that's why I'm throwing out there to the audience saying, yo, we got to expand our mind. We're going to celebrate Tiger. We're going to celebrate a whole bunch of other people, but guess what? Some of those people don't even have your best interests at heart. So that's why on Ebony Sports Show, that's why I say, we're going to give you the stuff that nobody else will give you. And so we're going to move on. And that I got to share this with y'all, get to with the audience that, something happened on September 4th, 2021. What happened is a historical moment that has not happened. That's why I'm wishing that Gator Rivers was on the show, because I'm going to put it out there and let everybody know. Nobody in Savannah, Georgia, in which I'm on my phone right now. I can run down the schools, but I can't run down the schools because it's on my other phone, in which I can let you know. On September 4th, 2021, what occurred, there were 5 African-American males who are all from Savannah, Chatham County, Georgia, from the high schools right here. They all were on national television playing football, Division I college football, all on television. September 4, 2021. Did anyone know about that? No. Oh, excuse me. Some people did know about it. Their parents knew about it. And also some folks who trained at a place called 2717 because they all came from there. All of them playing Division I, starting Division I college sports, all on television. And guess what happened in the local media here? There was a story on an athlete who is a walk-on, did not play, but is a walk-on kicker at Georgia Tech. So the local media here, that's why I said, y'all tell me about ESPN here in Savannah all you want. You can tell me about these other places, but guess what? You can tell me about WJCL, WTOC, WSAV. Guess what? They did a story on a walk-on kicker at Georgia Tech. When on that day, history was made in Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia, where you had 5 African-American males who are all on national television around the entire country playing Division I football, from Florida State to West Virginia to Georgia Tech to North Carolina State, yes, and to Tulane. They were all playing for them. All came from 2717. And guess what? The thing what we put out about them, that they're not taught themselves as athletes, they're taught themselves as leaders in the community. They understand that. So that's why I specifically put that one up there, because I want the folks to understand that I did a Black History Moment on that, but I also want people to understand on Ebony Sports, we're going to give you the information that your local media will not tell you. I don't celebrate any of them like that. That's why I said, you better come check us out. Because I'm saying, how many of you all out there knew about that? Like, how do you know about Bubba Wallace? How do you know about Lewis Hamilton? And then for some of us now, when I go and say this, because guess what? There was car racing in Savannah, Georgia. If you know of a community called Canebrake on the south side of Savannah, they race cars, or Black folks were racing cars in Chatham County. But see, when you don't talk to people, you think that we don't. We also race motorcycles. One of them who raced motorcycles, you just all might know his name. Or he might know him, Milton Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Milton Hall, a Black police officer who also had Milton Cab Company. Milton Hall, I'll put it out there right to you right now. They were jealous of Milton Hall. So Milton Hall died. It was intentional because they were jealous. Because again, gambling and all other stuff. See, when we do our stuff, it just ain't no accident. Milton Hall died because people were jealous because he was surpassing them with regards to motorcycle racing. Yo, that's Ebony Sports. Just let y'all know that's what we do. I know some people out there in the audience like they're surprised at this. They're like, wow. That's why you better check out ATR shows. That's what we do. So I had to throw that out there because I know some people ain't know that. I can let y'all know a little secret. Guess what's about to happen right now out of Savannah, Georgia, Chatham County, Georgia. You're going to see not just 1 or 2 athletes going to the NFL like maybe every 10 years. You're going to see streams of athletes now coming from Savannah, Georgia, who are now going to the pros. And in basketball also, because that's what's happening in Savannah. There's a quiet revolution going on. And I want to make sure people knew about that.
Yes, sir. And that is an awesome thing because it was one more player on there too, because Georgia played that afternoon also, I believe. And we got 1 or 2 players that start. Nolan Smith starts, so he's from Savannah for Georgia. He was on that day also.
Okay.
Somebody brought that to my attention. But, Savannah does not celebrate its celebrities. Why? I don't know. I'm talking about from any industry, Jamal, any industry. And I'm glad that we are here on this platform where we're going to give it to you like you're supposed to have it. We're going to talk about us. We're going to celebrate us. Nobody else is going to do it for us. These, one of the points that you made that everybody need to look at when you were giving that dissertation just now was that the reporters here don't know that because they are not from here. They don't keep up with these players when they leave, so they don't care. So all they do is move from job to job across the nation, coming into Savannah now. They find out what school is doing good. They make the little report and they go home. They don't care about what happened. They don't care about Gator Rivers being one of the greatest basketball players in the most world-known athlete out of Savannah. They don't care about nothing about that. They don't care about Molly Music making music, and he from Savannah, but he with all the stars. We don't celebrate our celebrities and our stars. Why? I don't know. I think because it's us. It has to be. And I'm glad you said that, because we need to be more cognizant of it on this program. Although we try to do as much as we can, but we need to give those stars and those players their due diligence here in this city.
And we're gonna start bringing them on because we got a deal in place. That's what I see. That we're gonna start bringing these athletes on. And one of them right now at Virginia Common University, one of them, he's a freshman, and he's now become they have done an online article on him. His name is Jalen Deloach. And Coach Brown, he talked about something. Guess what? He played AAU, Coach Brown. Yeah. And he went up to Atlanta and playing AAU, but he's from Savannah, Georgia. And now at VCU, they're saying that he is dominating with regard to rebounding.
Yeah, this boy
out of Savannah, Georgia. And again, but then our local media doesn't talk about that. That's why we tout the people. That's why we got Coach C on here, that we got to celebrate. As Julius Hall is saying, as Coach Brown is saying, we got to celebrate us.
Yeah. And the boy Jalen, he people don't realize he's from Savannah. I seen him when he was at Swanee Sports Academy. I already know he was good. This boy here, he went to Burtmore High School and took them to championship and everything. This boy right now is averaging, a freshman is averaging 17 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists per game, and shooting 64% from the field. He was 6'7" and then grew 2 inches. Now he's 6'9". And it's like athletes coming, just the problem that's going on here. You got all these athletes coming from Savannah, right? Small town Savannah, Georgia. The AAU coaches get in these parents' head and they say, hey, why don't you come to Atlanta? Why don't you come where it's big time sport where people can be known and see you? And that's what happened. Jalen went from Savannah to Burtmont now. And
his parents intentionally sent him there. I let y'all know, Jalen's father is Coach Rob Deloach, 27-17. That's why they said he had to have more competition. He didn't have the competition in Savannah. That's why they sent him to Atlanta. But I do tell his father that Jalen actually went to Herschel B. Jenkins High School, then transferred there. His father get mad because his father's a B-top bulldog. I'm just saying, Coach Deloach. Y'all know Coach Deloach.
Yeah. But on a serious note too, man, it's like we have to do something in Savannah, Georgia, to keep these young kids where it's at. Because there's a lot of athletes coming through there. And like I said, I met with a couple coaches on Sunday. It's like you got the Civic Center there. You know what I'm saying? Now utilize that. Instead of y'all using Swanee Sports Academy and bringing all these players out here, why don't y'all go there? Why don't y'all go Top Flight Sports Court, CEO Bernard Brown, and I can bring you flows there at the Civic Center and we can have our own AAU. Bring the money and leave it in Savannah, then you won't have to worry about it. You got parents in Savannah, and I see them when they come. I say, hey, I'm from Savannah. You from Savannah? They said, man, I am so tired of spending my money driving to New Orleans, driving to Atlanta, driving all over the place. I ain't got no money to take my child all over the place. And, it's a hotbed in Savannah, and we just need to come together and find a solution.
Jesus.
She got AE beach and caps too.
Yeah, I know. Jesus. Okay. His mama and daddy with the beach. Okay. Oh my God. So I think the time is up for the show. I think show time is up. Yeah. But anyway, Jalen went to Jenkins, then went on up to Burkmont. That's what happened. Right. So I'm just saying, just because his mom and daddy with the beach, that don't mean nothing. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach C. I wasn't trying to go like that, Coach C.
Hey, I'm already used to you, man. That's that animosity that you have. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all right. I understand, man. Remember now, we made you an honorary bulldog now.
I know. That's why I said. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
That's why I had to catch myself.
Stop.
Okay.
But hey, it's you got to come together, man. It's just like it's people leaving and because you can't help it. They're leaving to make it easy for their kids, to be seen. So if you come up now, you got Swanee Sports Academy hoop scene. So I say, hey, why don't you have hoop scene Savannah? They only got one AAU team in Savannah that travel, and they're getting sponsorship by the parents. One now. But up here, you got 5, 100, all kind of. So, you can't.
One thing about here, facilities.
What'd you say, Coach?
We don't have the facilities.
Yeah. And that's what you need.
Yeah,
Just have one. Yeah.
But we got the coaches now because Coach Sam Carter and Rob DeLoach, they're doing a tremendous job at 27-17. And just like y'all got Swanee Sports Academy, they can put that apparatus in play with the Civic Center, like you said.
Yeah.
We're going to end, but guess what? Bernard Brown, that's Bernard Brown's job. That's what his job is. That's why we did this, because Bernard Brown is going to be doing that. I don't know why he's trying to talk about other people. Bernard Brown's job is that's what he's going to be doing. That's what Ebony Sports Reporters, we putting it out there right now. Bernard Brown's going to be doing that. That's what he's going to be doing. He's going to be doing that in the next 6 months. He's going to be doing it in the next 6 months. I'm going to let you know that. And so he's going to come up with a plan and a package that he's going to submit to the city of Savannah and to Chatham County via Coach C. And so that's what's going to then happen. That's what's going to happen. So I'm just letting the audience know that Bernard Brown can't hear it, nor Coach C. They can't hear it at all. But that's what's about to happen. Don't let Julius Hall know, because he's going to try to steal the idea for Bernard Brown.
Hey, that's an
I only want to help him. What you say, Coach C?
Actually, I'm on board with that one. I was just talking to a couple of commissioners the other day.
Yeah.
A couple of Chatham County employees about putting a proposal to present to the county to see if we can move forward with getting some facilities here in the city.
Yeah.
It's much needed, way overdue, long overdue.
Yeah.
Because we got other places we could put it. You got Port Wentworth, you got Garden City, you got all these places where you could put those type of facilities just to come in the greater Savannah area.
Yeah.
Where you could put that type of facility and accommodate them. Like Bernard said, Civic Center might be too small. You don't want a Civic Center. You might want just a college center where you just gonna make a big, arena for them to hold that type of event.
And you can.
And Julius Hall his cousin is the chairman of the Chatham County Commission. His cousin, the chairman of the Chatham County Commission. So that means you got Bernard Brown, Coach C, chairman of the Chatham County Commission, Julius Hall. This can happen like in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because you know what? You're right.
Just let me know. Just let me know.
Because you got the Civic Center, right? A basketball court is basically, my floors is 56 by 88. And at the Civic Center, you can put 8 basketball courts in there. You can have the middle school going one way. You can have the high school going the other way. But what's going to get you is the middle school, because your grandparents, the mom, and all of them going to come to see their little babies. Just have one annual Hoop Scene Savannah, CEO Bernard Brown, one big time tournament, and bring it to Savannah. And I guarantee you it'll work. Use my flows and I got you. Period.
And I won't be gambling either.
It needs to be done. Because Jamal, even with how Jenkins look out there, that school is just awesome. I pass by and I'm just amazed. They are building a man that is just state of the art. And with the schools being brought up to par now to be on the level of other high schools across the country, then these kids get more conditioning and they get better. They play in better facilities, and then when they leave there, why they're there, and we can spot these kids that have this potential to get to the next level. Here we go with 27-17, and 27-17 is doing a tremendous job of conditioning these athletes. Maybe the boy at the Lakers, what's his name? AD need to come at 27-17.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. That's one of the things we talked about that last year. But yeah, and we saw in July, Bernard was saying LeBron takes care of himself in the offseason. Yeah. He spends money on himself. But then you have these other folks, and that's why I had this concern about AD even going into the season. Like, he's not doing the same thing, and people looking at folks, and so you're going to see that. But we're not going to hold you up. Getting to the audience, we appreciate you all. And we're glad to have you on Ebony Sports Show. Coach C, brother, you welcome to be on Ebony Sports Reporters all the time. And again, we're glad to have you. Proud of the work that you're doing. And again, please let the people know how can they get in touch with you, and especially what are the monies that are available and what the monies can be used for the audience. Because again, this is Ebony Sports Reporters. This is what we do. We impact you and inform you.
Well, I can be reached at 912-220-8046. You can follow us on Facebook at southwest.georgetown, or you can email us at southwest.georgetown@gmail.com. The money is there. Like I said, the money that's allocated is allocated for football, basketball, track, baseball, tutoring, mentoring. It's just a vast to help these children get everything that they need in life, to help them move forward, to give them an outlook, to give them a purpose, to give them to let them know that somebody cares about these children. It's there for them. You know, we also, as the coalition, the Savannah Coalition of Youth Leaders, we also have a crisis youth help hotline, which is 188-YO-SPORTS. That's 188-YO-SPORTS. If you need to talk, just need someone to listen to you, just give us a call. We'll be more than happy. No judgment zone. We're just here to help you out. That's all we're here for. If anybody has any questions, need to get any of this information, please give me a call. Again, I can be reached at 912-220-8046. If I don't answer, leave me a message or send me a text.
All right.
Yes, sir.
1-800-GO-SPORTS. I need some help because I've been assaulted by Wolverine.
That's Yo Sports, not Go Sports. You wrong already.
And now
1-800-GO-SPORTS. Y-O, not G-O. I forgot you with the Jenkins. It shows.
Jenkins.
There you go.
I'm being assaulted by Coach C. Coach C. Yeah, he's assaulted me too. Yes. Okay.
See, now you're telling stories, and the truth ain't in you.
But again, we're glad to have.
Man? What about the kickball?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and that's why I meant to get about kickball. You know, people are scared to play kickball. Some of us waiting for the kickball challenge. We're going to organize kickball. We're going to have a conversation about this next show about kickball. All those who are scared to play kickball, we're going to get you. Again, I'm not going to call them names, but Keisha Gibson Carter and people from Savannah High, they're scared to play kickball. They're scared of us because we take them out. So, but again, we're glad to have you all. Appreciate everybody checking out all the shows on ATR. Terry Mobler, we thank you because you're a great supporter of ATR, all the shows here. We thank you. We love you. St. Peter's AME Church, a great church right there in Tatumville.
All right.
Boy, that Jabbar. Hey.
Like this.